Every day, millions of people around the world use businesses that operate completely differently from the companies you know. No shareholders, no distant CEO making millions, no venture capitalists controlling decisions from boardrooms thousands of miles away. Instead, these businesses are owned and controlled by the people who use them: the workers, the customers, and the community members. And they're hiding in plain sight. They're called cooperatives. And whether you know it or not, you've probably already encountered one. So, what exactly is a cooperative? At its core, a cooperative, or co-op, is a business owned and democratically controlled by its members. Not by outside investors, not by a single founder, but by the people who have a stake in its success. In a traditional corporation, power flows from the top down. Shareholders elect a board. The board hires executives. Executives manage workers. Profit goes primarily to shareholders, people who may have never stepped foot in the business. But in a cooperative, it works differently. Members elect the board directly. One member, one vote, regardless of how much money they've invested. And the profits, they're distributed among the members or reinvested in the business. Think of it this way: a cooperative is economic democracy in action. Now, cooperatives aren't just a vague idea. They operate according to 7 internationally recognized principles, established over 180 years of cooperative history. These principles are as follows. Principle 1: voluntary and open membership. Cooperatives are open to all people willing to accept the responsibilities of membership without discrimination. Principle 2: democratic member control. One member, one vote. Whether you own 1 share or 100, your voice is equal. Principle 3: member economic participation. Members contribute equitably to the capital of their cooperative and control it democratically. Surpluses are used to benefit members. Principle 4: autonomy and independence. Cooperatives are self-help organizations controlled by their members. If they work with other organizations or raise capital, they maintain their democratic control. Principle 5: education, training, and information. Cooperatives provide education for their members, elected representatives, and employees so they can contribute effectively. Principle 6: cooperation among cooperatives. Cooperatives strengthen the movement by working together through local, regional, national, and international structures. And Principle 7: concern for community. While focusing on member needs, cooperatives work for the sustainable development of their communities. Cooperatives come in many forms, serving different needs and organized by different types of members. Worker cooperatives are owned by the employees. Everyone who works there has an ownership stake and a vote in how the business operates. From bakeries to tech companies, worker co-ops put control in the hands of the people doing the work. Consumer cooperatives are owned by the customers who buy goods or services from them. Food co-ops and credit unions are common examples, where the people using the service control how it's run. Producer cooperatives are owned by producers of commodities or crafts who have joined together to process and market their products. Agricultural co-ops are the most common type worldwide, helping farmers get better prices and access to markets. Housing cooperatives are owned by residents who live in the housing. Instead of renting from a landlord or buying individual units, members collectively own and manage their housing. And there are multi-stakeholder cooperatives that include different types of members: workers, users, and community members, all with representation and governance. These are especially common in sectors like healthcare and social services. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds interesting in theory, but does it actually work in the real world? Let me give you some examples you may already know. If you use a credit union, you're using a cooperative. There are over 130 million credit union members in the United States alone. Credit unions are financial cooperatives owned by their members, the account holders, not outside shareholders. REI, the outdoor retailer, is a consumer cooperative with over 24 million members. When you buy a membership, you become a co-owner and share in the company's profits. In the United Kingdom, the Cooperative Group operates over 2,500 stores and generates £10 billion in annual revenue. It's owned by millions of consumer members. In Spain's Basque region, the Mondragon Corporation is a federation of worker cooperatives, employing over 81,000 people across manufacturing, retail, finance, and education. It's one of Spain's largest business groups, and it's owned entirely by its workers. And if you've bought Land O'Lakes butter, Ocean Spray cranberries, or sun-kissed oranges, you've bought from agricultural cooperatives owned by thousands of farmers. Worldwide, there are approximately 3 million cooperatives with over 1.2 billion members. These aren't fringe experiments, they're a massive, functioning part of the global economy. So why does this matter? Why should you care about cooperatives? First, cooperatives tend to be more resilient. Studies show they have higher survival rates than traditional businesses, especially during economic downturns. Why? Because they prioritize long-term sustainability over short-term profits. They can't be sold off to the highest bidder or moved overseas to cut costs. Second, they create more economic democracy. In a world where most people spend a third of their lives working in systems where they have no say, cooperatives offer an alternative. Workers and members actually control their economic lives. Third, they keep wealth local. Profits aren't extracted to distant shareholders. They're reinvested in the business, distributed to members, or used to benefit the community. This creates more stable local economies. And fourth, cooperatives often prioritize values beyond profit. Because members have to live with the consequences of business decisions, environmentally, socially, economically, there's built-in accountability that pure profit-driven models lack. Now, let's be honest. Cooperatives, like all things, aren't perfect, and they face real challenges. Raising capital can be harder. Traditional investors want control and high returns. Cooperatives offer neither. Banks sometimes don't understand the model. Democratic decision-making takes time. You can't just have a CEO make a unilateral decision. You need member input, which can slow things down, and they require engaged, educated members. If members don't understand how their cooperative works or don't participate in governance, the model breaks down. But thousands of cooperatives worldwide have figured out how to navigate these challenges. And they're proving every day that another way of organizing economic life is possible. So the next time you walk into a grocery store, deposit money at a credit union, or buy from a local business, ask yourself who owns this, who controls it, where do the profits go? Cooperatives exist because people, ordinary workers, farmers, consumers, and community members decided they wanted to organize their economic lives differently. They wanted democracy not just in politics, but in economics too. If you want to learn more, start looking around your community. Find a local food co-op. Switch to a credit union. Look up worker cooperatives in your area. These businesses exist, they work, and they're waiting for more people to discover them. This is just the beginning. In future videos, we'll explore the world's largest worker cooperative, how co-ops distribute profits, the history of the cooperative movement, and how you can start one yourself. Cooperatives aren't the future, they're the present. The question is, will you be part of them?